Hi, I'm Brad Rourke, President and CEO of Scottie Resources. Scottie Resources is an exploration company mostly looking for gold in northwest British Columbia in the Golden Triangle. Our team has been together for 6 years, having lots of success as a lot of our neighbors are. We are in a very good position and look forward to continuing on.
Good to see you, man. How are you?
I'm well, Matt. Nice to see you.
You enjoyed the week in London?
It was grueling. We were in Frankfurt. It's neat to travel again, but it was good. Yeah, neat to see some people in face-to-face and just get away from the screen all the time. So it was nice, yeah.
You powered through. I bet you're going to be even more excited about jumping on a plane back home.
I am. I go home tomorrow, and I do look forward to getting home. But apparently, there's been a lot of rain in British Columbia. So
I heard.
Yeah,
absolute deluge.
Yeah,
boy, oh boy.
Yeah, but anyways, I'm excited to get home.
Good. So, what have you got out of this week? Have you met? What have you been talking about?
I had a pretty good schedule. Seeing people that I've heard the story before, which to me is the best. I mean, the market is what it is right now. I don't think new people are coming in. But at least if I can tell my story and they can judge, did I do what I said I was going to do last year before? And so it was neat to connect with this audience. I've been regulated to Canada and that's where I do most of my work. But, trying to get out here and broaden our base. So
what's happening in Canada with we've seen a lot of companies this week, obviously over here trying to get some European interest, and that always happens. Some people also thinking about listing over here. Is the investing in Canada has been rather muted for mining this year? I think it's fair to say.
It has. It's and everybody has their different theories, but there's no new money coming into this, and in fact, it would be my take is there's money leaving because there's something flashy over here, whether it's crypto or the energy trade right now is pretty healthy. So I think the only money that's moving around is you got to steal money from another company and just for the diehards.
Yeah.
I do believe that will change. But it is an interesting time to be in this business. I mean, we couldn't be happier with the execution. Everything's worked out. Even the macro has worked out for gold, but we're still not there yet. But I think when fear hits the market, is then when people start looking for insurance, and then I think we'll have we'll get a little bit of traction or the industry. We need the whole market to do well, not just us, of course. But I think that's coming.
So, I think I haven't seen you for nearly 2 years, all right? You've got a couple of drill seasons under your belt since then. So, what have you learned along the way? Well,
when we first started out, no one had heard of us. We put this little team together, but there was a whole bunch of smoke from years gone by. This was a mine that produced a 1/2 ounce per ton. So we just completed our 3rd drill season, focusing on about 3 zones right now, but there's a whole bunch of exciting things I could speak about, but right now the news is blueberry because we've already put 3 news releases out this year. Everybody's complaining about assays. We're putting out results, and so pretty exciting for us. We were initially looking at a different theory and then found something that didn't fit with what we thought, and we've been following up on that. So we've kind of have a new discovery in a north-south trending situation, and we did exploration holes last year just trying to figure out geometry. We really stepped out this year, and we've had some pretty good success. So we've gone from 0 to about 650 meters of strike length in the last 25 months, and it looks very nice. Yeah,
it looks very nice, and of course you've got Mr. Sprott involved in the early days, but the rest of the market, I say, it's been fairly quiet. You've kind of, I guess, trended sideways. I think it's fair to say.
Well, sideways and maybe even down to the left. But here's an example how the market is the bottom. My neighbor just got purchased for $3.5 billion on the same day that I put out a beautiful technical long section where you could start visualizing with your own eyes. Oh, right, this is real. And we go down 5 or 6, 7%. You're going. I mean, 3.5 billion is a real transaction. And I also have Ascot's mill will be turning in 2022. I believe it will. We're there. Ascot and Scottie are kind of the 2 bigger operators in the town of Stewart, so we have a front row seat. They're working hard. There was a lot of trucks in there building that mill. You know, I'm sandwiched between Pritium, Ascot, but nobody cares at this moment.
You're in the right area.
I am.
But there's something not gelling. Is that because of what the team that you've put together isn't connected enough, or is it what do you think the problem is?
I don't think that. I probably did think that. It's like, oh, it's me. What am I doing wrong? Or certainly my team hasn't done anything wrong. We've got an extraordinary team, and math doesn't lie. Just go look at our past 3 years in numbers. So I'm very, very happy there, blessed to be working with this fantastic team. It's just sentiment in the market, right? It just truly is, because I don't see anybody else rocketing. Of course, there's always an outlier. You have, some of these companies that are brand new, and if the guy owns all the stock, you can pretty much make your stock price, keep it where you want it to be. I'm a pure market. I mean, I've taken over 12 companies in the last 5 years, or 12 parcels, and gone from 400 hectares to over 52,000. So we have a district play. So it's a pure market. I'm a real market because I do not have control of my stock.
But because I'm trying to wonder what's going on here, because the grades are really good by any standard. The grades are great, right?
Certainly.
Is it because you haven't done enough of it? Is it because people don't understand the strategy? I'm trying to work out what the disconnect is here, because if I'm looking at some of these numbers, I go, okay, yeah, that'll do.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I'd feel bad if I asked for more, bigger, but I'd take bigger within what we've been getting, of course. But it's sentiment, because I deploy, I invest money as well as try and run this company, and I see a lot. I'm always comparing myself to people at my level, and there's some good stories out there, some really good teams working hard, and we're all kind of in the same boat. I think. Having been in the market for a while, and I've had some successes and I've had some failures, but this precious metal market is such a small entrance. We don't need a fire hose. We just put the garden hose into this, and I don't think people understand how easy it is to move this market because it's so small. But right now, until fear hits the market, because the trend's your friend, right? And the trend in our industry is not good. And who would have thought, these tech companies, 60% in 1 year, they're supposed to be blue chip. That should scare people, but they're euphoric right now, I don't know what time it is, but the party's going to be over soon, but maybe it's 1 a.m. Or maybe it's 3:30 a.m. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well, who knows? So, tell me where you've been focusing, because again, like I said, the grades are good. Are you spreading yourself too thin, in which case you're not able to tell a fulsome story about any one of your assets? Or is it something else? Again, I'm just trying to sort of dig down and work out why people are not resonating with this, because we're seeing stories with similar grades going out there and people are going nuts.
Sure. I've contemplated that. We do kind of have 3 zones, maybe even 4 zones working for us. And I go, does that confuse people? But people always want to know the answers. I want to know the answer. You want to know the answer. My answer to that question is no. We purposely are doing this because it's insurance. These things might not work out. We're honest, we're working hard, but this is a hard business. What I'm trying to provide is that, let's say we drill a duster hole or a bad hole, you're not going to lose all your money if it's a one-trick pony, right? And so we are offering, now we have size, right? Because that gives you optionality. Let's say the market keeps going sideways for another year. We've got a plan for that. I mean, that I can mitigate, not...
Well, tell me about that, because I'm intrigued as to how you move this forward. Based on the data that you've got, based on what you've seen happen in the market, but also with the results, right. How do you play that forward with the cash available to you? Okay,
so because I'm from the area, I'm one of the few CEOs that raise their children in the area. I think I was able to do all these deals. We have a total of 7 past producing mines on our tenures now, even though we're focused at one small part of this big land package that we have. But what I learned when I first got into this business and all the deficiencies I had is it's the system that you want in the Golden Triangle, right? There's no shortage of finding a rock in place. It's 40, 50 grams. It's everywhere. Yeah. But it's the system that you need to have. And And so we've taken something where there was like 12 different people and this prospector here and everybody's waiting for their ship to come in. But what I learned early was, God help you if you find something, right? Because you're just going to make your neighbor rich. And so throughout this, it's been tough for the last 5 years. We've had these little windows open here and there, but so we've just taken advantage of it and we've consolidated. So let's say things don't work out the way I want. I got a piece of land where I could option that off or do a JV there and just keep the focus going on. But as it stands right now, we're in no financial duress, even though the market's bad. We've got, I had zero institutional support. When you and I met, I don't think I had any. And that's what I was out there. Okay, I need some bigger guys to help. Well, now, I've got 3 big shareholders that would equal about 33%. I still maintain 7% of the company. And I didn't start the company. Those shares I acquired. So, I have institutional support. Even though the market's not working, I am getting no pressure whatsoever. Keep doing what you're doing, Brad. Do not give up. And that's the advice I'm getting from my larger shareholders.
Okay, so that's interesting actually, because if I've been at it for a long time and I'm not getting the recognition, I think maybe I need to change the strategy. Maybe the strategy is, well, if Nextdoor sold for 3.5 billion, maybe they might be interested in picking up a little more of a land parcel. Or I bring in a strategic. He's got the balance sheet, he's got the reputation, etc. He can move this thing forward because what are you, like 40 million market cap on it, depending what time of the day it is. You must be tempted quite often to go, geez, I've got to come at this different. Doing things the same way isn't working for me. But you're hearing different from your shareholders.
Stay the course, right? Nothing's changed, right? Has anything changed from why I even got into this 5 years ago? No, in fact, you can go crazy because it's not working out the way you want it. But, I've read 200 business books, right? Everybody goes through these dark times, but don't give up, unless some piece of information comes at me that changes things. But it hasn't, we're in the right area. I'm sandwiched between 2 really, really relevant stories and I'm posting upgrades. I do have a plan right now though, for the next few months. There's $3.5 billion going to be distributed to a whole bunch of investors. There's going to be some deployment, right? So I just need to get out there, make sure they know the story. They need to think for themselves, but there's a lot of value where we are. We're 1% of that transaction, our market cap.
Yeah, same again.
Pardon me?
Same again is what you're going to be saying to those shareholders.
Well, just, you're going to receive your money and there's going to be people who made a lot of money at Tritium and there's some people that aren't happy because they figured it sold too low. We've heard everything, but I'm just trying to go, my next 2 months is going to be, I'm going to go marketing. I don't market in the summer times. I'm an operational CEO. I'm moving core boxes and I'm up there cracking the whip. It's the only way you can keep your costs reasonable and they're tough as it is. But, that's kind of my plan right now. We don't need to go raise money right now. We will eventually here before the drill season, but that's not my concern. But I think what I can do now is if I can capture 1% of that money, right? Because those are precious metal investors, right? And so what happens if you're an investor and you receive money, you're going, okay, where am I going to deploy it typically? And I don't expect it's all going to come into the area, but you look what's happening in our area. Hochschild's come in. The Lundins are in the area right now. These things, I have never seen the activity that I have in the area. Now, 25 years I've lived there. I was on the Eskay Creek staking rush. I've been to Snip Mine. I did all Murray Pezim, or not all of it, but I did a good portion of the service work for Murray Pezim. I know the Golden Triangle. I've never seen the big guys coming in and largely unnoticed because the last 14 months has just been, risk off for sure. Yeah. But there's been $4.8 billion in transactions that have happened, right? Mm-hmm. Seabridge Peridium did a $100 million cash deal. Hochschild in for $100 million for 60% earning at the Snip mine. We're extremely similar to the Snip mine, except you can drive to ours. The Lundins are in the area. So I see that and I go, the big guys are positioning themselves in a time when nobody cares, but it's going to work, right? I mean, nobody's moving away from this area. It's proven to be not as difficult as perhaps what people thought in the past. There's power, the roads, the port system. We lack nothing for infrastructure, and it's a little bit easier to work, I think, in Canada than perhaps some other places. And that's evident to me because we do have lots of conversations with single asset producers because of our mine permit. We're never going mining, but I actually am in the possession of a mine permit. You can see, you know, when all this M&A happens, it creates a vacuum, and it really makes these single asset producers go, well, they need to step up, and who's going to fill that space? And so we do have the interest. I might be difficult to work with because I'm not interested in, you know, I want to drill holes. I want to get myself to show that 1 million ounces of high grade gold. And, you know, we're not there yet, but I still have 10,000 meters coming from this season that I haven't seen yet, which would be 50% of all the drilling we've ever done ever. And if we're just consistent with what we've posted in the last 3 years, we're going to be fine.
So your message to people is what? Just, we're going to stay the course, stay with us, 10,000 meters, 100,000 would be nice, 10,000 meters to come. And if it is more of the same, then that's a game changer for your company.
It is. I mean, we've, you know, I've got 5,000 meters coming off Scottie. You know, 11 grams over 11 meters, 50 meters in front of the mine, never been drilled before. That's a big drill hole. 109 over 2.5 meters near the ozone, 30 meters from anything that's ever been done. But we're still trying to find out the geometry of these systems, of these vein sets, right? And in the past, they were just production drilling. There's 700 holes at Scottie, but it was just chasing a quartz vein, right? That's what they were doing. You know, it just takes time, and because we're challenged, there's challenges. It snows, right? We don't work year round up there, and so that's a challenge. But does the grade outweigh that challenge? We've been going slow because we just don't want to drill blind, right? Because this isn't, you know, a typical. Although in Blueberry, it's interesting. We've found the contact between the sediments and the volcanics. 80% of our holes are hitting there, but we paid $1 million for that property for an east-west vein, and going and exploring that east-west vein, we found this situation going north-south. We've kind of proven it up. It was a theory last year, but if you come and look, we're going, wow, 80% of the holes now are hitting so far. I still have 3,000 meters coming from Blueberry alone. It's 5,000 meters coming from the actual Scottie gold mine, and we've posted some big numbers. And same thing, we're just trying to figure out the geometry of these things, and so it's slower because if I can't get my assays back, I can't drill blind, right? We need to understand where these things are going. But one of our big wins this year is we had SGS put a mobile prep lab on site, and we were able to drill this year off this year's drill results. So when you go look at those blueberries, so rest assured, you know, and we posted up some big numbers. Well, you know, we're east, west, and down below that. I mean, we're still stepping out, but we're able to, you know, almost do 2 seasons in 1 season this year, right? And so that I think was a good move for us.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
I know you've been running around this week. We must be shattered, but you're going to come back on and get a little bit technical with one of the guys, so we can actually break that down, what you've been talking about, and maybe you can sort of paint a picture for us and shareholders. But good to see you again.
Oh, good seeing you, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate you having me.
Thanks for making the time this morning. When are you heading back?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay, not too bad.
Yeah. I might go try and see if we can get into a show tonight, but I'm tired.
Yeah.
Go walk around, see some of the sites, but I'm going to take it easy now for sure.